Welcome to the Remote.It Docker demo. My name is Robo, and I am in the DevOps department here at Remote.It. Today we're going to talk about making an SSH connection from a Remote.It desktop running on your host network to a Remote.It agent Docker container running on a Docker network. This connection is one of Remote.It's most basic connections. The Remote.It desktop is what starts the tunnel. It then connects to the Remote.It agent, which ends the tunnel. And then we use our SSH client to talk to the SSH service, just like you normally would over any network, only this has no open ports and no port forwarding. So we're going to need to get the Remote.It desktop, and we're going to need to get Docker desktop or a Docker environment that you can run. You're also going to need a free account at Remote.It account at https://app.remote.it/pound/sign-up. All right, we're going to also use a clean folder for running our Docker command, and we're going to get that Docker command from our Remote.It desktop. And we'll show you how that's done right now. Okay, so we have our desktop here. And you can see we have no devices. I'm logged in over here. And so we're just going to add a device. We're going to say, click the add icon button there. We're going to click the Docker one. This is going to generate a Docker run command. And it's going to also set a registration code that allows this Docker container, when you run it, to register with my account. This is generated on the fly for you, and it also just has everything to run a basic Docker container. So we're just going to click that to copy it. We're going to go to our command line here, and we're in the clean folder, and mine is called ~remote.it/docker. And we're just going to paste that run command in here. So Docker run and hit enter. As you can see, we now have a Docker container running. It's the Remote.It/Remote.It agent latest image from Docker Hub. And so we're going to take that now and see if we can find that in our device list here. So if we look over here under devices again, and we refresh, we see that the device is here. It's offline right now, and now it's online. So it's come up. It's registered automatically. This is matches the container ID, because we use the host name of the container to register as the name. And in this case, since we didn't give it a host name, it used the container ID as a host name, and so that's how it registered. If we click on this, we'll see that there's also an SSH service. This SSH service comes automatically from that registration code. And so we're just going to click on that, and we're going to click Start to SSH into our container. We're going to need a username to do that. As you can see right now, though, the connection is idle. It's going to connect on demand. So as soon as I click this launch, you'll see that in that SSH URL, there is a username tag. It's in the brackets there. So let me click on launch, and it prompts me for the username, which is root. And we hit enter. And at this point, it's connecting. It's launching. That was idle on demand. Well, it has some demand. So now it's launching a peer-to-peer connection, and we are connected. If we go back to our terminal, you see that we can actually get into our Docker container. And this is where Remote.It is running. You can see this Connect D, S channel. Those are Remote.It services. So this is our Docker container. If this had been running on a remote machine, then you could connect to it just like I did, without any open ports or any port forwarding. And that's it. That's all we do for our Docker. So now we have, back to our slides here, we're going to take a look at what we did. Let's go over it. We opened a terminal. We created and changed to a clean directory, in my case, Remote.It Docker, which was already there. We ran the Remote.It Docker command to start the container that we got from the Remote.It desktop. Okay. Afterwards, we went to our desktop, to the devices section, and we refreshed the devices in our case to see the new device. We selected a newly launched Remote.It Docker device, we started the SSH service connection, and then we launched the SSH service connection. And that's it. That's all you need to do in order to set up a remote connection and get started with other basic connections. Here's some links to our Remote.It website, our Remote.It desktop download, and our Remote.It agent Docker image up on Docker Hub. Thank you, and talk to you later.